Okay, today you are talking about regular polygons and how to find their area. So first we're going to go through and label all of our pieces. So you've got this length right here, which goes from the base to the center, which is called your apothem. You've got your side of your polygon, which in this case is a hexagon. You have your center. Okay, and you have the radius, which is from your corner to your center. Okay, you've seen a radius in a circle, and the one thing you need to know about your radius is the same length as your side. Okay, so we're going to be using these little pieces in order to figure out our area of our polygon. Okay, the one thing you need to remember is you will be using your 30, 60, 90. This is 30 degrees. This is 60 degrees. And here is your 90 degrees. Okay, your formula for this today is going to be 1/2 times your perimeter. Remember, that means we're going to add all of our sides together. And your apothem, which we just figured out what that is. So looking at example 1, find the indicated measure of the regular polygon below. So we are looking for our perimeter and our area. All we know is our apothem, but we do know that this is a 30, 60, 90. So we make our little box. Remember, your first 2 rows of your box are always the same. 30, 60, 90, 1, square root of 3, and 2. My height, or my apothem, is directly across from my 60 degrees. So 4 square roots of 3 goes right here. My half of my side length is across from my 30. So here's half of my side length. And my radius, which is right over here, is across from my 90. This is my radius. Okay, so in order to find my perimeter, I'm going to need my side length down here, which is also the same as your radius. So if I want to go through and find my radius, that will give me my side length. So across from 90, I need this section right here. Cross multiply, 4 times 2 is 8, square root of 3, divided by the square root of 3. That gives me 8 for my radius, which means my side length is 8. So in order to find your perimeter, you take your side length and multiply by your number of sides. 8 times 6 is 48. So 48 centimeters. Okay, and then my area, remember we're using our 1/2 perimeter times our apothem. So 1/2 times our perimeter, which we just found, times our apothem, which they gave us. Okay, all those together are going to give us a decimal of 166.3. And that's centimeters squared because it's area. Okay, looking at example 2, we're still looking for our perimeter and our area. We're still working with a hexagon. So find the indicated measure of the regular hexagon, perimeter, and area. We've been given our apothem. Okay, we have not been given our radius or any side lengths. Okay, remember that your radius is equal to your side length. Okay, that will save you a lot of time later so that you don't have to figure out more than one thing. So when I'm going through, I need to do my 30, 60, 90. Okay, which you're going to be doing a lot. 1, square root of 3, and 2. Okay, remember when you're looking at your hexagon, this down here is my 60. This up here is my 30. Okay, so I've been given my apothem across from my 60. And I am looking for my radius, which is across from my 90. Remember, my radius is equal to my side length. So I cross multiply. 6 times 2 is 12, divided by the square root of 3. So that's my radius, which is also my side length. 12 divided by the square root of 3. Okay, perimeter, same as last one. There are 6 sides. So to find my perimeter, I take my side length, remember, which is also your radius, and I'm going to multiply it by my number of sides. So 6 times 12, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72. 72 divided by the square root of 3. Okay, there's my perimeter. And then I've got my area, which is just 1/2 your perimeter that we just found times your apothem, which we have. So when I go through and put that into my calculator, one half times 72 divided by the square root of 3 times 6. There we go. Let's try this again. 1/2 times 72 divided by the square root of 3. And I'm going to multiply it by 6. 124.7. Okay, and you're more than welcome to leave this as a decimal for your perimeter. Okay, but that will give you a little bit of a different answer on your area, which is fine. Okay, same thing. I'm looking for my perimeter, my apothem, and my area. So this little bitty a is your apothem. Okay, remember that's this. Okay, all I've been given is my side length, but remember your side length is the same thing as your radius. Okay, so I know I can go through and do that. I can do my perimeter first because I already have my side length. So there are 6 sides. 6 times 12. I get 72 for my perimeter. Okay, and it's centimeters. Then I'm going to go through and find my apothem length. Okay, I know that this is 12, which means this little bit right here is 6. So since I have both of those, instead of having to do my box, I can go through and do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. My 12 is my c. We'll just leave a as my apothem, and b is 6. So we're looking for that a or our apothem. 6 squared is 36. 12 squared is 144. I subtract my 36. Okay, I get 108. Remember to go from a squared to just a, I take the square root. And I get 10.4. So I can go ahead and put that right here, 10.4. Okay, you could have also done that with your special right triangles, and then you would have had probably a radical right there, which is perfectly fine. Then I can go through and find my area. 1/2 times my perimeter times my apothem, and I'm going to come up with 374.4 centimeters squared. Okay, and you can go ahead and put centimeters on your apothem as well. Okay, another one exactly like that one. They've given us our side length. Okay, we're still with 6 sides, so 21 times 6 is going to give me my perimeter. I get 126. Okay, I do not know my apothem, but I do know that my radius is 21 because it's the same as my side lengths. So to figure out my apothem, I can go through and take half of my side length. So half of 21, 10.5. Do my a squared plus b squared equals c squared. My c is my 21. My a is my apothem. My b is half of my base. fill them in. A squared plus 10.5 equals 21 squared. When I change 10.5 squared to its actual number, I get 110.25, and 21 squared is 441. Okay, I have to solve for a, so I subtract my 110 from both sides. Okay, and I get 330.75. Okay, and that gives me a squared, but I need just a, so I take the square root. And I get 18. So my a equals 18, so I can put that over here. Okay, 18.2 if you want to be precise. Then I'm going to put it into my area formula, which remember is 1/2 times your perimeter, which you already found, times my apothem. Okay, and all together I get 1146.6 inches squared. Okay, so make sure that you know where all of our pieces came from. Make sure you know where your area is being calculated, since this is a new formula for you. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Okay, go ahead and mark off number 6. But look at example 5. In this case, they gave us our radius. So remember, your radius and your side length are the exact same. So in order to find my perimeter, I can do 7 times my number of sides. 7 times 6, 42 centimeters for my perimeter. My apothem, I do not know, but I do know that half of my side length, this right here, is 3.5. I can go through and use Pythagorean theorem to find that missing apothem, just like we did on the last two. Remember, my A is my apothem, my B is half of my base, and my C is my radius. So a squared plus 3.5 squared equals 7 squared. 3.5 squared is 12.25. 7 squared is 49. I subtract my 12.25 from my 49, and I get 36.75 for my a squared. Okay, I need just a, so I take the square root, and my a comes out to about 6. It's 36.75. If I take that and I take the square root of that, I get like 6.06. So my apothem is 6. Okay, now I'm going to go through and find my area. Remember, area is 1/2 times your perimeter times your apothem. So 42 times 6, and half of that is 126 centimeters squared. Okay, we skipped number 6. Okay, last part is a regular hexagon has a perimeter of 48. Find its area. So when I'm looking at a hexagon, remember all of your sides are the same. So if my perimeter equals 48, I can take that 48 and divide it by 6. And I'm going to get 8. So I took it divided by 6, and I got 8 for all of my sides. Now I need my apothem to be able to do that, to find my area. So what I do know is that my side length and my radius are the same. And I know that this apothem is cutting my base in half. So now I can take that and figure out my apothem length. So remember, my 8 is my C, my base is my B, and my apothem is my A. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. My a we do not know. My b is a 4, and my C is an 8. 4 squared is 16. 8 squared is 64. Subtract my 16 from my 64, and I get a 48. Okay, we've had a problem like this quite often, so when I square root it, it comes out to about 7. It's like 6.9, so I'm going to round it to 7. Now I have everything to figure out my area. Remember, your area is your 1/2 times your perimeter, which they gave us, times my apothem, which we just found. When I calculate that all together, I get 168, and that's centimeters squared. Okay, hopefully this video lesson helped. If you need to go back and rewind to see another problem or pause it throughout the way, you're more than welcome to. It will be posted all week. Have a good day.